Welcome back to the channel, and I truly appreciate y'all for hanging out with me and seeing what I got going on down here in the basement and on the layout. So before I get into this Helix build and what it took for me to get to where I'm at now, if you haven't been following, here's kind of where I was starting and then where I am now. So I started with the regular lift out, right? It was cool. It had a hinge on one side. You can go under and do whatever, right? After that, I think there was a reiteration of that lift out. Then I got to the swing gate, which also was super dope. I love doing that. But the reason I changed from all of that was we sometimes have quite a few people that come over to the house and they want to come down and see the layout and stuff like that. So I would have to stop the trains and lift up the gate so they can come through and then go all the way, because it's a long run, right? And I just didn't want to have them sitting out there waiting like they was waiting on tickets or something to come in and look at the rest of the layout. So fast forward, I've done a folded dog bone. So now I took out all the lift outs, all the swing gates, and it just kind of went in a continuous loop, but it had two sides of that dog bone. Fast forward from there, on the one side, there's a small yard. You know what, let's just go over there and then I'll do a quick little update, explain a little bit about the Helix, and we'll be back. Let's go. All right, so here we are with the wonderful magic of editing. I'm over here on the layout. And yes, as you can see, here's the Helix. And we'll get back to the Helix very soon, but just wanted to say that there's not too much that has happened on the back end over there. I think we already talked about the retaining wall over here, the concrete wall with the graffiti. I did start adding where I want that staging yard to be, which is in this section. The layout will continue to go around and under here on this side, and then wrap its way back around to start making its way back up the Helix. So let's talk about the Helix. I think, let's slow this guy down just a little bit here. As I'm talking about this, I think I'll slide in some GoPro video that I had as I'm talking about some of the stuff here. So we'll be going in and out. Anyway, I got a train going down. The Helix overall, I think there's close to 200 feet of track. So the inside and outside make up that track. Yeah, I'm stuck. It makes up the track footage, I guess. So the outside is 32 radius. I got a little line in here that's 30 inches, and then the inside is 28. And that is all the way around. I had to get some flat bar and created some brackets up under here. See if I can show that. There's 3 holes which secure that. There are screws that secure that bracket to this plywood. Also had to get holes, bigger holes, to allow this threaded rod to go through. And I got bolts. I think these are 3/16 I got locking washers in here, and then washers on the outside. So it's probably overkill with the washers, but better safe than sorry. I got little brackets under here that join each piece of the plywood. This is actually a 3D printed piece. I wanted to try 3D printed brackets, but that's a whole nother story. But that is working, and I'm fine with that. So the plywood itself is not the thickest. It's not like as thick as this decking here, but it's the next one down. I think it's like a 3-ply or something. You can see here I got little support posts in between each of these levels as well. Just because it was like a little squishy between each of these things here, each of the brackets with the threaded rods. So, and yeah, there's more here. I also dropped feeders on each level. So before I went up from this level to this level, you can see here I dropped feeders here. So it went around, and as I got to this level, before I went to this level to that level, you can see here I dropped feeders. So I'd done those before I went to the next one, because it would be like really hard to drop those feeders with the next level on top. And it was the same. So as I put these here, I had got a, what is that? It's like a right angle attachment that I could put on my my drill, and it allowed me to get the drill in here and drill these screws onto here, which was a lifesaver. And I really want to give a big shout out to Jake Johnson for helping me get this to where it's at right now. A lot of late night phone calls and a lot of text messages to get this done. I also want to shout out my sister for helping me get this octagon base in the right dimensions and what it's supposed to be. That was such, we used ChatGPT to get the right dimensions for that. So there is a gap here, so I'll fill that in. I filled in a couple of these, so I'm not sure what was happening, y'all, as far as the way it was going. You know, the first level was totally fine as I was laying them around there, and as I kept getting higher, it was getting off just a little bit. I'm not sure why. Maybe the next round of cutouts of these cutouts was off a little bit or something. I don't know, but I just adjusted for it, and it seems to be working fine. So I think over here we can see where I filled one of these gaps in. Sorry if I'm going too fast too, but right here. So I just measured the little distance from here and just cut a piece out and filled it in there. It filled out just fine, but I'm not sure what was happening, why that gap was happening like that. And yeah, so I got more feeders here. I think I got some over here too. So I try and do every 3 to 6 feet for the Helix. There they are. So there's some feeders. Believe me, they're there. I can't see them on the camera. Maybe once I get this on the video where I can start editing it, we can see it. But it's a 2% grade. Starting from here on up, it might have risen a little bit to maybe a 3% in some areas. And so what I wanted to do was only 3 levels. I think there's 3.5, maybe 4. But I wanted to stop at that level and get up there. But then there would have been a kink maybe as it reached that level. So I would have had to cut back here and bring that part of the bench down like that. And that would have been just more math that I did not want to do, that I did not know how to do. So as I got around here, I was like, well, it's not going to make it up there. So I need to do another loop. And now it's right up there. So honestly, it worked out fine. And yeah, this is the Helix. It doesn't, I mean, it's big, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't take up as much room as far as going out. You know, I had that other dog bone, so kind of like this section, that was over here as well. Now this creeps out just a little more than what the, so I want to say the first dog bone up here kind of went from here back, adding this extra, because it's a double helix, double track helix, and then this little bit extra sticks out too. So again, people could fit through here, so it's not like horribly tight or nothing like that. And I feel like it fit that spot like the other part did. So this is where it takes off and starts going up at that 2%. And up top here is where it connects, and then it goes up that side and it splits off here. So yeah, I will say it's a lot of work overall. Maybe a month of just non-stop. You know, with me working, you know, you come down here and only can do it when you got the time, but that's it. A month, 3 weeks, maybe a month of just non-stop on this until I got it to where I want it. And I like it a lot. I really do. So I think I hopefully am done with this section of the layout. Like I said, we had, you know, the lift out was here because this part of the layout extended all the way to the end of that wall. And I had a lift out, lift gate, swing gate, dog bone, and now Helix. It's not for the faint of heart, man. This is crazy. But here we are. And yeah, let's just close out the video, and I appreciate y'all. Okay, and that's it for the layout update / Helix build. Again, a lot of fun. It's not for the faint of heart like that. It took a lot of mental gymnastics to do that and to stay focused on it, because it was times where I was just like, I'm sick of looking at this thing. I'm sick of coming down here and working on the Helix and nothing else. So and I'm kind of like that. Like I get fixated on one thing and I just need to finish that. So I'm glad it's done to a degree where I'm happy and I can move on and do a few other things and then come back and tinker with that and finish it. So with that said, I'll be moving on for the rest of the layout there and just trying to get that bottom part of it completed, at least just the loop of it. There'll be some other cool little things on the bottom there, but again, I'm mainly just focused on that staging yard. So I can have just trains sitting there ready to go and pull out, and I could swap them out and stuff like that. So I want to thank my Patreon folks. Y'all the best. I always say it, and I do appreciate y'all for the continued support. If you want to become a Patreon like these good people, whatever side they on, hit the link below, and yeah, become a Patreon. Nah, appreciate that though. I appreciate my patrons for real. It goes a long way, and I truly am thankful. I've had some people that's been Patreon even when I was doing, because I draw a lot, and some of those folks moved over from there. So I appreciate y'all. I did have one question though. I want to go live on one of the social media platforms, and I'm leaning more towards YouTube going live. Maybe once a month, once every 2 weeks or something like that. I don't know yet, but the question is, if I decided to do this, what would you all want to see? Like, you know, obviously be like weathering and building structures and stuff like that, but you know, model cars, Gundams, train stuff, obviously, but what would be some of the things you'd want to see, and that you really want to just sit there with me for, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour, listening to me ramble on what I'm doing and just my life in general. So if you could leave something like what you'd want to see in the comments below, I'd appreciate that. And yeah, until next time, I think that's it. I will see y'all. Check out whatever video YouTube is suggesting that you take a look at from my list of videos. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.